Hello all my angels, welcome back to my channel. It's me, your girl Shyla, back with another video. I hope that you all had an amazing weekend. Happy Monday. I hope you guys all behaved and didn't get into too much trouble. If you guys dressed up for Halloween, let me know down below what you guys dressed up as. If you guys went out, if you did something fun, because I literally did nothing. I sat at home and I played Red Dead Redemption 2 pretty much all weekend. And when I wasn't playing Red Dead Redemption 2, I was watching football. So I really didn't do much of anything except for my workouts. Before we get started into this video though, please take a second, like and subscribe, and then also don't forget to follow my Instagram. I post there every day. If you're new to my channel, I post here every Monday, every Friday, sometimes Wednesdays. If you're returning, as usual, I appreciate you all from coming back, and I thank all of you for joining our little family. Today, we're gonna have kind of a quick video because the last video was like 30 minutes long. And when I say quick, I'm gonna attempt to make it quick. We all know I try, but they end up being long. And today we're gonna have another Trans Topics with Shyla video. And today's video, I want to talk about dating, friendships, and the LGBT community. And as always, these are going to be my experiences that I'm going to talk about based on being older. I am 40 and I am transgender. I have been transitioning for like 3 years for those of you that are new, and I have been taking hormones for almost 2 years. So these are all going to be based on my experiences over that time period. Everybody's experiences are going to be different. If you are female to male, your experiences are going to be different. If you're younger, your experiences could be different. You might experience some of these things. You might experience none of these things. But if you are new and you are watching videos and you are thinking about transitioning and or if you were just starting out and wondering what to expect and you're like I was watching videos from everybody, maybe this will give you some ideas of things you may or may not encounter. So the first thing I want to talk about is friends. Now, if you watch anybody else's videos, I know I watched a lot of videos when I was first thinking about it and first transitioning and first starting out. Everybody is going to say that you were going to lose friends. And before I get going on this, if you are watching like at work or with any like little kids around, I might use some language in this more than the language I normally use that you might not want everyone to hear. So bear that in mind. You have all been warned. So back to what I was saying. You're going to hear that you are going to lose friends, and that is 100% going to be true. And it's crazy the ones that you lose. Like, you may not lose very many. You may lose a lot, but you are going to have some that would not think that they would treat you the way that they would treat you. And it's very disheartening that people would act that way, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I know, and I am never going to use anybody's actual name or Instagram handle or social media handle. I am not going to use any of that if I'm talking about something negative, because I'm never going to call anyone out like that. I will only use somebody's actual information if they are, if there's something positive. If I'm talking about them in a positive way and I want everyone to know just how amazing of an individual they are. But I know someone, there was someone that was one of my friends. He was older than me. I actually kind of looked at him as like a mentor because he kind of took me under his wing when I started work at the place I was working and kind of taught me like the ropes and was always there for me, was always on my side. And when I started transitioning, and I was transitioning really slow, you know, he would do things like he would call me out in front of people like, God, you smell like a girl. Are you wearing perfume? And I would like, you know, give him a smart ass answer back of, I mean, heaven forbid I smell good and I shower. Do you want to use some of the lotion I'm using? You know, stuff like that. I mean, and it even went to the point, and I am not condoning the use of this word at all, and keep in mind, I am not sensitive in the slightest. Even to the point of calling me like a faggot in front of other people at work, and of course where I was working at the time didn't give, you know, a rat's ass about what people said about me. They always went with the thought of, oh, we didn't actually hear him say it, so we can't do anything about it. Because that's just how, you know, some places are, you know, where you work at. And it just baffled me that somebody would treat me that poorly. And, you know, someone that's supposed to be your friend. But I will say that you will replace those friends with new friends. You will find new friends, especially if you know, if you're transitioning later and most of your friends are guys, you're going to start gravitating towards wanting to have girlfriends because you're going to want to do things with them and want to have friends that you have more in common with. And even if you still do a lot of the same things you used to do, like I still do my gaming, and I still like football and whatnot, but you know, I like my makeup, I like shopping, you know, I like things that boys just, and, you know, it's different having friends that are girls than it was having friends that are boys. It really, really is. And you are going to, for all of the, always remember the ones that exit your life, the ones that you lose, you're going to replace with new ones that are, could be even more amazing that you probably would have never had to begin with. And you are, trust me, you are going to find out who your true friends are and who actually cares for you once you start your transition. I could go on about that for the longest time, but I don't want to make this super long. So let's go into the next topic, and we're going to talk about dating. Now, I don't have a whole lot of experience with the dating world with this because for all of you that don't know, I like to refer to myself as about 97% lesbian. I generally like girls. My instant attraction is to girls. It's generally not to boys. There's about 3% of boys, and I can assure you, it's never the boys that are messaging me in my DMs on Instagram, except for one, and he knows who he is. But for the most part, I am just generally attracted to girls as I see them. But, you know, it's crazy, especially when you're first starting out because... And you're going to experience this when you're first starting out because you're going to go through your awkward stage in the beginning where you still pretty much look like a boy, no matter how hard you try. Even if you're wearing makeup, unless you're just one of those lucky bitches that were blessed to just look like a girl anyway, and like from day one, they just slapped on a little makeup and boom, girl. For the rest of us, you are going to go through an awkward stage where your hair is first starting to grow out and you're wearing makeup, but you still look really masculine because you probably haven't started hormones yet. Depending on when it is you start living full time as a woman, or you might be taking hormones but still look really masculine because it takes a while for the hormones to start working and they have to like increase your dosage for them really to ramp up. I know I had to get increased twice before I really started noticing the changes like in everything. Hold on one second. Okay, so I just realized I was filming this without my lighting going, just using the natural light in my bedroom, and the sun was starting to go down, so I needed to add some lighting to this. So, where was I? Okay, so you're going to be going through your awkward stage, and you're still going to kind of look, you're still going to pretty much look like a boy. You're basically going to look like a boy with makeup. And at that point, I guess if you're attracted to boys, you know, it's going to be easier to find a boy to date, but you're going to run through that problem, especially if you're not attracted to boys that are gay. If you're attracted to boys that are just cisgender boys, they're not really generally going to be attracted to you because they're going to want someone who looks more like a girl. And if you do, you're going to get weird comments from them because they're not going to understand, or they're going to only want you for one thing. Because trust me, fuckboys happen whether or not you're a girl or a boy, or you're transgender. It doesn't really matter. There's always fuckboys for whatever, boys that just want to get off. So, you know, there's that. Or, I mean, I guess in the beginning it would have been easier dating a girl because if you dated a girl, you still look like a boy. Just with some, you know, with some makeup on, or if you weren't wearing makeup because you weren't telling her about it yet, but then you're kind of being dishonest about it, and then you have to have that whole talk with, I know that you're attracted to me now, and this is what I've got going on down here, but that's going away, and because I'm really going to be a girl, and I'm going through all these changes. So for me, I just kind of waited because I didn't feel comfortable, and I didn't want to be dishonest or for me feel like I was being dishonest, and that's just my personal thoughts on it. I'm not talking about how anyone else should ever feel about it. So then I waited and I waited, but then when you get farther along and you start looking like a girl and you're more passable, then it's a whole new bag of cards because then you'll meet girls, or you'll meet boys. Let's say you meet a boy and he likes you because you look like a girl, you know, and he just thinks you're a girl, and you explain to him you're transgender. You're going to need to find a boy that is comfortable enough with himself to not be insecure about what you still have going on down there, and understand that you are just a girl and that hasn't gone away yet. And there are boys out there that are amazing and are cool with that, and there are boys out there that aren't and can't see past that. And that's why it's better to always just be honest up front, because that way everybody knows, and that way if you meet a boy and it's to that level, there's no confusion later. And if you meet a girl, I mean, if you meet a girl that you're either going to need to have a girl that's either bisexual or lesbian, because a girl that's straight is not going to be into you once you start looking like a girl. So most of the girls I've talked to that are lesbian, you know, it's tough. It's crazy. Before I started my transition, I had no problem talking to girls. But now that I am starting my transition and I'm far enough into it where I wouldn't mind dating someone, look for somebody, I have no idea how to talk to girls as a girl. And I've told some of my girlfriends this. It's like, I don't know how to flirt with them. I don't want to make it sound like flirting with them like a guy would flirt with them, because that's kind of how all I know. But at the same time, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. And as I'm looking at myself while I'm recording this, and it's totally digressing, I'm looking at these little hairs right here, these little wild hairs, and whatever. It's been like 5 days since I washed my hair, but you know, and it's still so soft from the shampoos that I'm using that it doesn't want to stay in its bun right. Whatever. I probably should have washed it today, but I didn't get around to it. So maybe I'll wash it tomorrow. Okay, back to the topic at hand. So, you know, you meet a regular girl like that, and you don't know how to flirt with her. You don't even know if she's into girls, and you don't want to like flirt with her and have her be like, God, what a weirdo. You know what I mean? Or if you do meet a girl that's lesbian, let's say you meet like a really, really amazing, beautiful girl with like blonde hair and a pink bun. Winter knows who I'm talking about. And you don't know how to talk to them, because from what I ever found, most lesbian girls are not into, you know, what's down there unless it's, you know, what the girls have down there. So it's like, what's even the point at that point? Because you're going to need to find a lesbian girl that's basically okay with you still having that equipment down below, which most of them aren't. Most of them want you, especially if you're before surgery. I mean, I imagine after surgery, it would be different. It would be a lot easier. It'll probably be more confident for me, probably be more confident for you guys if it's after surgery, especially if you're into girls too. If you started with a girlfriend, or if you just met, I know plenty of trans girls that have met girlfriends during this, and kudos to them. I have the worst time with it, but I'm just letting you know some things that'll go on your head to think about while you're doing this. And now I want to take a second and talk about dating apps. Dating apps. The only dating app that I've used has been Tinder. I haven't tried any of the other ones. I think I made an account on Bumble once, but I never used it. I have a Tinder account. I don't really use it. Occasionally, I start feeling lonely and I go on there and swipe to see who's on there. I've never met any girls from there. I firmly believe every girl that I've ever talked to on there was not actually a girl, or not actually the picture of the girl they sent me, and that they were just, you know, scamming me or catfishing me. And I ain't falling for any of that shit or any of their games. And as far as the boys, you know, when my pictures on there were still a little more in my awkward stage, you know, I would get weird comments from boys. It would act weird, and then it'd be like, you know, I had a boy ask me if I'm a top or bottom, and on all my profiles, I clearly put that I'm a trans woman. And I'm like, I'm not a gay man. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm a trans girl. So I'm not, there's no top or bottom. And then their next comment is, oh, well, do you want to come over? That's the type of people that are on there. And it doesn't get any better now that I'm a girl. Now that I'm a girl, you know, like one that I had like in the last like 3 or 4 months ago, you know, everything was going fine. And I was like, okay, so maybe I could meet this guy. And he sent me this, he basically sent me a dick pic. And he was like, which I didn't ask for. I was in the middle of working out, and he was like, maybe you'll send me a pic later. And I'm like, oh, I know where this is leading to. He wants me to send a picture of my girls, which, you know, whatever. I'm not ashamed of my girls. Maybe I will send him a pic if he asks, you know, maybe I'll make him work for it a little. And I'm like, so just to be coy, I'm like, a pic of what? And he was like, you know, a pic of my, I'm like, don't you remember me telling you that I'm having surgery in February and it's going away? Last thing I'm gonna do is like be proud of it and take a picture of what's down there. So if that's something that you're into, you're looking for the wrong girl. That was the last I heard from that guy. So it's tough. It's just tough. The last thing you want to do is find some unless you're cool with that, I mean, I'm not cool with using it. I'm definitely not cool with being like mounting guys pass. That's not my thing. I don't even really like boys. I definitely don't want to do that. But whatever, it is what it is. Dating apps, proceed at your own risk. But if I can give you some advice on dating apps, just be yourself. Just be upfront. Tell everyone that you're transgender to begin with. It'll save you a whole lot of headache later, because it'll weed out the people that, granted, you're going to have to try to weed through the people that just like think of you as just an object or just have a fetish for trans people or trans girls, but it's not fucking worth it. It really isn't. Now I want to talk about the LGBT community. Okay, this is the last thing I want to talk about, and I don't have a whole lot of experience with the T on that community. I have a lot of experience with the L, the G, and the B. I've always gone along great with lesbian girls. Ever since I was younger, I've always got along great with them. Maybe they saw something in me that I didn't see in myself, but it's always been like a kinship. We've always gotten along well. It's always been good joking. I've always gotten along great with gay guys. You know, they've been fun to hang out with, and they're so funny. And you know, bisexual girls, I've had plenty of experiences with them, but we won't go into those. Those are stories for another day. But as far as the T community, I don't have a whole lot of experience with trans women. I've got some experience with trans men. There's some trans men that I've met that work, you know, around me in some of the places I work, and they've always been really nice and really sweet. But I don't have any trans girls that I'm friends with in person that I talk to. I think it's because Reno is so tiny and country and closed-minded. It's not a very big community here, but my interactions with them are basically like just on like Instagram or social media, and it's pretty mixed, you know. I think I've had more negative interactions with the girls, with trans girls, than I have with regular cis women. You know, just talking to them, I really don't get so many of them, and as you know, like I promote for this hair company, so I message girls, and a lot of girls, some girls I message are transgender, and I've got so much weird cattiness and just up their own asses and think they're so much better than everybody. And like, I'm like, bitch, I'm looking at your profile right now. Why are you thinking this about yourself? Why are you being so negative? You would think that you would be positive and happy and friendly. You're getting to live the life you want to be, and you're talking to another trans girl. And I don't know, I just don't get, something I don't get is all of us trans women we all have struggles. We're all going through it. Everybody's going through it differently, and everyone has their own hardships and own experiences. And I doubt anybody's transition is exactly perfect and there's no hardships to it. So what is the point of being bitchy and unsupportive to someone else that's going through the same fucking thing? I just don't get it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I would love to have some friends in the transgender community. I do want to say that if you're like me and watching the videos and you come along some videos, like I know I came along some from Dawn Marie. If you guys don't know her, I will link her up above, but she's pretty awesome. I don't think she knows who I am, so she'll never see this. Doesn't even know I exist. I've commented a couple times. I never responded to back. Whatever, I'm little. No big deal. She made a comment once that she likes going to gay and lesbian clubs because it's a place that they feel safe. And I've always just gone to regular clubs. I've never felt unsafe there, but I've never really experienced the difference until I went to Toronto and we went to the drag club. And it was so much better of an experience. It was so much more fun, and I just felt so like more like free and open and not having to worry about whether or not anybody's actually going to clock me, or they just think I'm some, you know, or they're like, oh, look at that trans girl over there. It was just so much fun there. So that part, if you hear that, it is true. You should definitely try going. Other than that, I'm going to end the video here. That way it doesn't keep going for too long. I might be back on Wednesday with another video. Depends on when my Gymshark package arrives. If it arrives in time, there'll be a Wednesday video for it. Otherwise, I'll be back on Friday with another video. Other than that, I hope you guys have an amazing week. Love you all. Bye.